You want some soda?
Greetings.
Greetings.
We are back. We are back. And I know it is late in the midnight hour.
We burning the midnight oil. We burning the midnight oil. For those of you who are the late night owls on this Friday evening, we are here and we remember. So
Yes,
we
do.
are
The
welcoming
Soul
you to the
Sisters.
circle. We're welcoming you to the Circle of Sisters podcast, Table Talks. We are the Soul Sisters, speaking out and fixing crowns in the process. So we have decided to jump on here today just to grace y'all with our presence and to just dive in. Wanting to see where y'all are, what you're doing, who's up, who wants to talk, and give you the 411 of what we have cooking. So we have a couple of things in the crock pot just simmering.
Yes.
And so we wanted to
Simmering.
share that. We wanted to share
Well,
that with y'all.
let me let you know one of the new segments that you'll be able to tap into whenever we come on late night hour. We think we're going to call this our Cacao and Conversations. So in honor of Cacao and Conversations, we have our cacao and we're ready to get into some conversations. So thank y'all for tapping in. Cacao and Conversations are going to be an open forum where we talk about what's new, what's going on. We want to hear from you. We definitely want to hear from you. We'll talk about hot topics, what's trending, anything that is moving and stirring within our community. That is what Cacao and Conversations is about. You want to add a little bit more about what they can expect from Cacao and Conversations?
So first off, let's talk about what cacao is. Cacao is a sacred plant medicine, all right? It's more of a heart opener. So it opens your heart. A lot of the indigenous tribes, like in Peru, they use cacao when they have leaders that come together and they want to discuss whether conflicts in the community or whether there's just some deep understanding that they want to acquire. They will prepare cacao and they will sit and have a conversation. So that's where Cacao and Conversation comes from. We have been utilizing it as a heart opener here in the US in multiple different types of ceremonies. And, it's just something that you can sit back and drink and just enjoy. And it's really like a good hot chocolate, if you would like to say. Very, very soothing to the soul.
Absolutely. And not only is it soothing to the soul, but it actually has some really great benefits that can heal the mind and the body. So cacao is really known for primarily for regulating the nervous system. So if you're suffering from anxiety, depression, it'll help to just really give you that relaxed feeling. It contains magnesium, iron, fiber, copper, which all are great things for heart health, which is not only spiritually opening the heart, but it's actually helping to repair the heart and restore it to its primal function.
Ashe.
Um, and so that's a bit of and it also helps with the brain. So it's that mental.
Decalcifying the pineal gland.
Absolutely. So it's really offering mind, body, and spiritual healing in a cup or glass.
Yes. So, how have we all been doing? Let's check in. So, for me, I did something I've never done before today, as we have entered into this new galactic spin, as we talked about last time, I have challenged myself to go above and beyond and tap into the land unknown. So I have went on TikTok for the first time and went live. And I know you have too, sis. Let's talk about that.
Yes, yes, yes. So we are in this particular first wave spell that we're in. We're integrating into TikTok. Y'all know we come live all the time here on various platforms that we're connected to, and TikTok is the one that has been elusive to us. And so we have made a pact and accountability for one another to make sure that we spend some time learning and going on and interacting with TikTok. So if you are not following us on TikTok, y'all need to hop into it, get into it, follow us on TikTok. We are on all social platforms. You can follow us on Good Vibes Lounge LLC TikTok, or you can follow our personal TikToks, which we'll link below as well. Um, One of the things about TikTok that we love, and the thing that we want to be able to do with that, is we really want to be able to in real time connect with our beautiful viewers, to hold space for them, to allow you to get guidance regularly. We know there are a lot of content creators that are out there giving guidance, and so big ups to all of you. But we have a little something that we want to share with the community, and so it's time. Now is the divine time to start those new projects. Remember, we told you about that a few days ago, and this is one of the things that we'll be birthing in the process.
So yeah, this new spin on TikTok is going to help broaden our horizons per se. You know, and we have thought that we would do something like a call me now for your free tarot card reading or your intuitive
Hey,
insight. So just
Ashe.
like what's her name? Miss
Cleo,
Cleo.
Miss
Miss Cleo
Cleo.
used to do back in the day from the phone call. So now we have the advantage of TikTok, which streams all across the world. That's what I really liked about it. You can meet people all over the world. This technology that we have now is really a great platform to begin to tap into our own unique essence and really begin to do the things we love to do. That's what my TikTok was about earlier today. How often do you get to do what you want to do and feel good about it? You know, it's nothing holding us back but our own selves. So when we can tap in and just share our gifts, share our talents, meet people, share our love. You know, Oshun showed up in that pool. So I pulled some cards. I just was really, really free with it. It felt
You
so
look
good.
beautiful. You look
It
beautiful. Everything you look, you still glowing. You still got that glow. Look, I didn't got comfortable. It's nighttime. Kids are fed. I'm like, yeah, look, I'm in relaxed mode. But I definitely wanted to hop on here because, as you said, there's so much information that we want to share with the public, and TikTok will allow us to reach a large audience around the world. So we're starting to tap in there. So we definitely want everyone who's following us here to make sure that you're following us over there as well, so that you don't miss out, because we have so many things in store. But before I get into that, so today I went live on TikTok as well. Now, I didn't realize I needed to save it, so I don't have the clip, unfortunately. But hopefully, some of you all tapped in with me. As you all know, I live in the Los Angeles, California area, and today I just really sat down and had a talk with a king that I really admire and respect. In the city, he is known as Crip Jesus, and he wrote a book called The Blue Bible. Hands
mm,
down, it is one of the most powerful books I've ever read. It's 120 pages of pure knowledge. And what he's done so eloquently is he's broken down the intricacies of gang culture, and how even in the chaos of what that is, it's a remembrance of who we are. And he
mm,
gives the history of how some of the signs, the symbols, even the colors that are worn um, date back to our ancient ancestors across the globe. And so he makes those fine-tuned connections with that. That I really hope a lot of the brothers and sisters in my area actually read so they can understand that the misdirection and the chaos and confusion of what gang culture has done does not reflect the remembrance that is coming through. And when we align with who we are, we can actually tap back into the highest version of ourselves. And so,
Yes.
shout out to
I
him.
shout out to him because I know, we look at like the gang culture as a negative thing as
Hmm.
it has evolved into that,
Hmm.
with the gang drive-bys and killings, but
Hmm.
originally it was set as a space of protection for community.
Hmm.
Let that sink in.
Hmm.
We are familiar with the freedom fighters and the Black Panthers that kind
Paved
of
the way.
paved the way, but then there again was the division and the separation and the turf wars, basically, after the drugs were introduced, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, and he talks about all of that in his book. It is not a glorification by any means of gang culture. What it is, it's showing how even though we may be considered a lost people who don't know where we are, there is a deep, profound, deep rooted remembrance of who we are, and it shows up in our culture. It shows up in the way we move, we dress, we interact, down to the way that we do every single thing. It's ingrained in us, and we often talk about soul remembrance, remembering who you
Soul
are,
retrieval,
soul
yes.
retrieval. And so he really breaks it down, and he breaks it down to where anyone can digest it, no matter what your age, race, affiliation. You can definitely digest the information. So again, shout out to the brother, the king, Crip Jesus. You can find him on all social platforms as well. He has music. He's a musical artist and an author. So really, really tap in. And that's some of the things that I want to be able to share. And I know we want to share. We want to invite additional guests on. We want to be able to pull our audience, our viewing audience, in on the calls if they'd like to speak and share their thoughts. We really want to make it more dynamic, and we believe that platform will allow us to do that.
Yes. So I with that, soul retrieval. Let's talk about that a little bit and
Hmm.
really what that looks like and how that shows up because we have had so many different experiences with soul retrieval and
Hmm.
seeing the extremes of soul retrieval, right? Because as we begin to tap into spiritual work, we begin to unlock DNA and unlock our past history and unlock past lives in some cases that want to be witnessed in this lifetime. So understanding how we can navigate that experience without losing our minds, without getting so far gone that you're no earthly good, as they say, the Christian people,
That's right.
being so holy that you ain't no earthly good, but really being able to pull the wisdom, the insight, the knowledge of the past lives is what it's all about. I know Jasmine Garden, she's a very known
Love
uh,
her. Love
social
her.
media TikToker, and she is so woo woo. And she actually was attacked by a Christian person. So this Christian lady, something glamorous, goddess, glamorous goddess or whatever. That's a big thing on TikTok. Well, they had a meeting of the minds. They should have had some cacao. They might have got a little further with that. But at the same time, it was again a divide. Instead of understanding that we can value the differences in people, there's a need for all of it. A need for
Right.
all of it. There's not a right or wrong or a reason for us to come for anybody. As long as you're solid in what you believe, who cares what somebody else believes? But I still believe that the foundational truths of how you choose to get to where you're going is you. It's up to you. It's your own personal journey. So when I saw that, I was really just taken back, and I really kind of threw some little sidebars in on my live today, talking about I'm a child of the Most High God, but I still do oracle cards, and I still do believe that God can use anything and anybody, and it doesn't make it evil, because it's your walk, and only you know what your relationship is with the Most High. I personally believe that the Most High lives in all of us. It's the Christ consciousness. It's the understanding that we get to create just as Christ did. And these platforms are the place where we get to create the most freely. So I'm taking this with a grain of salt, and being able to express and feel free and know that, you know what, somebody is looking for me. Somebody needs the message that I have. Somebody needs the message that you have. Somebody needs to just feel free enough to show up however you want to. And this is what these new social media platforms are allowing, and we need to be using them for the good, whatever that looks like to you.
Ashe. You said a mouthful, and I want to trickle back a little bit to where you spoke on the soul remembrance and unlocking the DNA. A lot of us come into the spiritual work, and many people rush off to want to work with various deities, various entities, without really the proper foundation and background. And one of the great things about, because I'm self-taught in a lot of ways, I have studied under leaders and healers that have been doing this work for 30 plus years. But prior to that, I was self-teaching myself. And the one thing that I did, because just like you, I still have a connection with the church. I don't consider myself religious. If I would have to say, I would say I'm interdenominational, because I believe in all religious texts, there's nuance, there is truth, and you just pull from what you need and what serves you. But when I first decided I was going to expand beyond what the Christian church was teaching me, I knew that I did not want to replace the God that I was previously serving with another God. I wanted to get closer to myself and understand myself and create a divine pipeline between me and the Most High. And I think that's what fundamentally everyone is looking for when they search for religion, spirituality. They're looking for a direct link, a direct connection from their self to the Most High. And oftentimes when people are doing that soul remembrance, sometimes they will bring up things from past lives, past histories that will intrigue them enough to want to go down that path. But there's a reason why you've come back at this time. And so you can research that path. You can understand the knowledge, recall the knowledge, and apply the wisdom that you've gained in this now life. And so what we really strive to press upon everyone is enjoy the journey, but remember that the journey is supposed to serve you in the now.
Yes.
It's not to fix what happened in those past lives. It's not really to prepare you for the future. It's actually to get you ready in the now, to start to fulfill and transform you in the now. Then you spoke about the divide that we have within the spiritual community at large. And when I say spiritual community at large, I do include the religious fractions, because they are a part of a spiritual house. And so when we have these divides that further divide us, there's enough between skin color, gender identity, and all the other things that are out there. And now we want to add this one too. We want to add spirituality or religion to that mix. And the new world that is being created, or the true world that's being created, is calling to come together. We are moving into a state, what they've noticed in science, and this is a one of the things I wanted to add today's conversation. One of the things they've noticed in science is the great awakening that's happening is honestly pulling us closer to a unified consciousness, which means that more of us are getting on the same page, and with that comes so much more, so much.
Yes.
We're unlocking the great mystery. It's
And
happening
this
right now.
is, I did a post on my Facebook page about this is the greater works, right? This is the greater works. And I remember when I was very much a devout intercessor and praying and prayer warrior. And I always said, where are the greater works? Because it was said, and greater works shall you do. And it wasn't talking about the disciples only or the Jesus only. It was talking to the people, and greater works shall you do. So what does those greater works look like to you? And how does it show up in your everyday life now? Because we know that the word of God is living and active, and it is constantly evolving, and it is constantly expanding and witnessing itself through human beings.
Ashe. And how is that happening? Let me give you all some quick facts. The way that she, as Chantel has eloquently stated, it's happening through human beings. How is it happening? It's happening with every word we speak. With every word we speak is a spell. That's why they call it spelling. Okay. So everything we speak, we are not only speaking words, right? We are literally speaking the past, present, and the future. Okay, all
Creating
at
in
once.
the
We're
moment.
creating in the moment. The act of speaking utilizes the breath, which is spirit. So once something leaves our breath and it goes out into atmosphere, into the general consciousness, which is what air is, that is going to be in motion. And so tailoring the way that we speak to one another, the way we speak to ourselves, even in the dark, sometimes we speak to ourselves and not such the kind words, or not and speaking things as we desire them to be. And wanted to bring that part up because it's time for us to rewrite the narrative. Look, we know there was an oppressor that was oppressing us, that was doing all this thing. That's when we didn't have a clue and we didn't know who we are. Now that we've remembered, now that we knew who we are, there is nothing oppressing us but ourselves.
Ashe. And when you realize that you speak life and death in the power of the tongue. And the more you continue to entertain those lower vibrational energies, the more of that we will experience. So it's time out for that. We're saying no more. We're saying no more. We need to really begin to unify in the energy of love, right? Love sees no color. First off, love is all consuming,
Omnipotent.
and it's like, okay, if we are all in that frequency of knowing what love is, it will begin to change our reality. Bringing things up to the vibration of love is what I talked about as well, because love is all there is. And then speaking in the space of gratitude and thankfulness, I spoke on this too. So when you find yourself in I'm that love and light kind of girl, but I know that there's episodes and situations that are not love and light, but I get to choose how I navigate through those experiences by the way I respond, not react, and the way that I apply what I'm learning through that process. So even when things are a little bit a low frequency, I still get to transmute that energy by light. We can say, oh, pity me, sorrow upon sorrow upon sorrow is what you will get. But when you can take the sorrow and give it, release it, surrender it to a space of love, I talked about that. Bag lady, you gonna miss your bus.
Dragging all them bags.
So clear your
Yes.
energy. That is this year. The snake
Yes.
is shedding off all those things that no longer serve. If you want to be a part of this new movement as we run into this season of the horse coming in 2026, you have to make room. You have to make space to be able to receive. And if you're in that tight ball, box, square, whatever, and holding everything, you don't have room to receive anything.
Mm-hmm.
Your cycle is going to repeat. Same thing. We're
Ashe.
expanding, we're releasing, we're in a place of surrender. I'm going to be sharing some posts from our Origin X experience that I just had, and it was all about expansion, pushing your body to the limit, to
Mm.
understand that we are not the body, first and foremost. How many of us believe that?
Mm.
I am not my body. I am not my hair, as India Ari would say.
Oh, that
You
is
know?
one of my songs. Yes, I am
So
my hair.
So
The music is moving
understanding
today.
understanding the spiritual realm is very much important in this day. It's very
Absolutely.
much important to know who you are, to know whose you are, and to know your soul's purpose.
And
Um,
and look, you all, we do this. If we offer spiritual guidance, we offer energy healing sessions, tarot readings. We offer these services. But to be honest, our greatest reason for coming on these platforms for speaking about these topics is really honestly to show you the transparency of our personal and collective journeys together, and to just allow you to bear witness to what this work looks like when you are actively working and to rescript and change those underlying narratives that have formed the landscape of your life. This is really what it looks like. We come on here with no pretense, no judgment. We are really wanting to just hold a virtual safe space. So whenever you see our cameras come on the screen, you tap in the chat, know that it is a safe and curated container for those who want to either bear witness if you just want to watch, or for those who actually need some support. We're here for you. We're not trying to force our philosophies, our thoughts, our beliefs on anyone. This is really just to change the algorithm of the timeline. There's
I
enough
say,
things on there that will not uplift your spirit. And we want to be the catalyst, the polarity that creates the light where there may seem to be a lot of darkness. And I really wanted to touch on that because of the fact that we're in a time where a lot of people feel overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed financially, they're overwhelmed physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. They don't know which way is up or which way is right or left. And a lot of people are really just on that hamster wheel trying to figure out how they keep on moving and keep on going. And for those of you who need that pick me up, that's why we're here. Maybe something we say today gives you a little bit more momentum to keep going, or maybe it tells you, you know what, it's time to stop and let go. And we are in a season of letting go and releasing. This is a time for resetting who and what your life, who you are and what your life is supposed to look like. And that's not by society standards.
mm,
That's not by our standards. It's literally only measured by your standards. I often say that one of the founding principles I love about cosmology is when they talk about the balance of Ma'at and your heart being weighed against a feather.
yes,
And I often bring this up because I want to remind you that the heart, if we take the heart and the feather, of course the heart would weigh more, right? We think the heart would actually weigh more. But what they're saying is you are judged by yourself. You
Ashe,
are judged by what your heart says. If you're doing something that your heart know is wrong, that's how you gonna be judged. If
Ashe,
you're doing something that your heart feels light about, because sometimes we have to release people in love and light. It ain't no ill feelings. It's just you keeping me stuck, you keeping me stagnant, you keeping me in a low vibration. And with all the love in the heart in my heart, I have to release you. It's no
That
sweat off
part
your back. It's no guilt, no shame that needs to be attached to that. So your heart is light.
is light as a feather.
And when you move throughout life with a light heart, then in that final judgment, you'd have nothing to worry about. Yeah, I know my heart is light because my heart never told me in my life that what I was doing was wrong, adverse, was counterproductive to what my mission and my purpose was. And with that, look, I yield, sis. I yield because I want to get into what we got coming up in 2026. So
Yes.
if you want to close anything else out on that note, you can.
Well, I
Look,
just
talk
want to
to about
say,
now.
I just want to say, um, this life is really, really interesting, and the more you align to the truth of who you are, the more you find those things that feel good and chase after them intentionally. Because one thing that I found out is that a lot of people are like, I'm just going through the motions. I'm just going through the motions. And you're going through the motions based on what somebody else has told you.
Mm-hmm.
You're going through the motions based on what the world says you should do. And you feel very heavy in that. So
Mm-hmm.
when you say, you know what, let me sit with myself and find out what feels light, what feels good, what feels right to me, and go in that direction where you're not violating the rights of others, you're not putting any harm to nature, and you're respecting yourself, whatever
Ashay.
that looks like, that's all that matters. And who cares what someone else thinks of that? Because it's your life.
Ashay.
You
Ashay.
know, that's it.
Clock,
That's all. Look,
clock
ring the
that
bell.
T.
You can ring my bell. Ring
Ring
my
my
bell.
bell.
Okay.
And just to give you the galactic update, today we are on Kin 3, the Blue Electric Night. And the reason why this whole conversation is important is because it's a reminder that in order for us to continue to have that vibrancy, that spark of life, we have to be in service. And the way that we are in service, honestly, and we bond with the things that we're meant to have and meant to do is really by digging into our intuition and allowing our dreams to reshape. We have the life is nothing but a dream, as they say, and
Look,
we have the ability to lucid dream, which is the ability to change the dream when we don't like what it's looking like. Okay, we have the ability. You ever been in a dream and you was like, oh goodness, this is like a scary dream, I don't like this, and then you do something in the dream and now you in a different
something
area.
totally different.
We
Yep.
have the power to do that in life. And that's what the energy of the Blue Electric Night was teaching us. It was like we got the power to shift things up. And I'm saying Blue Electric Night, and it's already past midnight. So we're actually on a new glyph today. But I did want to point that out because that is the energy we were in today, really cultivating, living our dreams out loud. And this is what it looked like, y'all. This is what it looked like. Hey, look, you can ring my bell and somebody ringing the bell.
I'll call you right back. Okay.
Look, I'm out live. I call you back. I call you
Yes.
back.
Okay. Yes. So this is where we are. I mean, my goal today is to just live intentionally,
Oh, shit.
because if you don't live intentionally, you're going to fall for anything. So as we live intentionally, we can show up in ways that we never thought we could, and we will achieve the goals that we have set out to achieve. And that's what we're talking about tonight, just showing up and doing the things we love to do with the people we love, and allowing them to support us in our work. And that is not a work that causes us distress.
Mm-hmm.
It normally should come with ease and grace. Yes, it does take hard work, and the hard work comes from living intentionally, not just allowing things to happen, but being intentional about the way things happen. So that's
Absolutely.
that's that's where we're calling forth. We're calling that forth the energy of abundance. We're utilizing gratitude as the attitude that creates the things we want to experience, and we're living our best life from our heart space.
Ashe, Ashe. And one of the things that we're calling in, or a few of the things that we're calling in, is our retreats. We know you love, love, love coming on retreats with us. And so we wanted just to get you to write down, save the dates, okay? Save the dates. So the first dates that we want you to save is March 20th through 27th. March 20th through 27th. We will be going to Mexico. We will be in the Yucatan, Mexico,
We calling it in.
calling it in. This is going to be a awesome retreat. It's 7 days, y'all. 7 days, okay? Full week long retreat. Everything is included. And we're still working out the details, but it'll be around $2,000 to 2,500. We're trying to make it as affordable as we can per person, but estimate around that point, that price point, and keep those dates on the calendar. Block them out. You'll be with us in Mexico, in Tulum, and we are going to be diving in. This retreat is about resting, reflecting, and resetting. We will be preparing for the spring season. We'll be there through the equinox, right? And so,
Getting ready to receive our harvest.
yes,
Harvest time.
getting ready for the harvest. So you are not going to want to miss that. We are going to offer payment plans, and we're getting that information out as fast as we possibly can. But just so you know, lock those dates in, March 20th through 27th. All right. And that's in
Yes.
Mexico. So if you ain't got your passport, you better get them this year.
Start working on it for this year.
Yes.
And then are we revealing the second retreat?
Go ahead,
So
sis.
the second retreat, our lineage, our essence, our African brothers, sisters, mothers, uncles, aunties, great ancient ones are calling us back to the motherland. All right. So we are planning a trip to Ghana come August the 1st through the 10th. 1st through the 10th in Ghana. This is going to be an all-inclusive retreat as well. We're trying to get some packages put together where we will all fly out together, because as we know, that is a couple of days flight, but it will be so well worth it. So we are calling forth those that are ready to go to the motherland and to unite with us. We have some local support on the grounds in Ghana that are going to really help us tap into our ancestral veneration, our soul retrieval, and also self-care. So you have to take care of yourself first so that you can receive all that is divinely appointed for you. And like we said, we have royalty in our DNA. There is abundance in that space. There is abundance for us in that space if you are ready. So the details are coming. It's going to be all inclusive, including your flight. So, and we will be probably flying out of California,
Yeah.
LAX, just for the pricing, but be on the lookout. August. So we have a long time to prepare for that, but we are sending the vibration out now, piquing the interest and asking our soul tribe, soul sisters, and everyone, males, females, anyone who would like to be a part of this soul retrieval, ancestor veneration, and self-care retreat. So mark your calendars for that as well.
Absolutely. We're also going to be doing some stateside retreats. So, for those of you who just want to stay stateside, stay tuned because we'll have more dates loading. We will be doing stateside retreats, and we'll also be doing virtual retreats for those of you who are unable to leave the home but really want to be able to have the benefit of retreating with us. We will be working on some virtual 1 and 2 day retreats where you can spend a few hours with us, and we'll be in ceremony and ritual, all the same things we do on our retreat, but we'll be holding them in a virtual container. So we have so many more things to divulge to you, but I think that is a mouthful, or A cup full.
A
Okay.
cup full as you have almost finished your cacao. But this has been a great just build and just share. We come off the rip with our conversation. Typically we just allow spirit to work and speak through us as it sees fit. One thing I love about my beautiful sister Lady Young is that we never miss a beat when it comes to our connection. And I am so divinely appreciative of this soul connection, because it takes having those people in your corner, in your box, who get you to support you in your work, in your soul's mission. And when you can connect with those individuals who understand what you speak or picking up what you're putting down,
Mm-hmm.
that makes it a lot easier to navigate your life experiences. And again, that's kind of where the collective community comes in play. We've all agreed on this collective consciousness of life as we see it, but there are also silos. But these silos are getting bigger and bigger and bigger as we embrace differences,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
embracing differences without judgment and with acceptance and love. So this is what we're talking about. We all need each other. Together we are stronger, and that looks like all of us. No
Ashe.
division.
There's
No
no
division.
division, no separation, no box.
Nobody.
What does it say? Unformed, uncontained, free form. That's one of the moon tones
Moon
that says
tones.
that.
Uncontained and free formed.
One of the things that you spoke to, which I want to say, divine reflection, sis, divine reflection. You are one. Look, I want to say one of, because I don't want nobody to feel left out, but you're like the closest person to me. And you are on the other side of the country. You're on the other side of the country. But when we talk, it's like we've been walking down the street all day, like we ain't missed a
But
beat.
we do kind of be on the phone like that all day. Look, we ain't on this little 24/7 time thing.
Mm-mm.
We go by the times in the moon, okay?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But to have a divine reflection that anchors you in the work and sits on her throne beside yours. You know what I'm saying? We're not fighting over the same throne. It's enough room, in this queendom that we're
Yes.
building. It's enough room for us to line up thrones.
We bringing all the queens. Come to the
All
table.
the
Come to
queens.
the table.
And so when you have a sister that is not just straightening your crown, but anchoring you, supporting you, that is really invaluable. It's priceless, especially when the world is calling us on a large scale to come together in community,
Yeah.
in real true community in every sense of the word. And so with you, I feel that, sis, and I'm so glad that we get to share this regularly with all of the viewers, the followers, all of the clients that we work with. We get to share the very best parts of ourselves, and I think we complement each other really well in how we present this work, and not only how we present this work, but actually how this work is shape shifting our lives. We hold each other accountable, like
Yes.
they
And
said.
we're so different, but yet so much in what is it? A match. It's like
Right.
no cookie cutter. We're not the same. You offer me things that I don't have. I offer you things you don't have, to make it more of a match. But
Mhm.
we don't try to be like each other. We are
I see.
standing alone in our own essence, in our own authenticity. And that's what we need to see more of across the diaspora,
Yes.
across the wavelengths, the
Yes.
frequencies, the vibrations. Everybody showing up as their own self, because there's so much room at the table. So
Authenticity is the key.
until
Authenticity is
next
the
time.
key. But yes, we are at that hour, and I know you need to get some beauty rest, because in just a few hours we'll be back up on another call. So
Yes.
let's go
7
ahead.
a.m. comes quickly.
It
So
comes really quick. And so, with that, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in, for listening to us on tonight's Cacao and Conversations with the Circle of Sisters podcast. This is our late night where we just unwind and talk and chat and catch up on what's going on with us. As we always come on, it's much love. And if you happen to catch us live, please give us some comments. If you are catching us on the replay and you watch this all the way through, let us know what you think. Give us your comments, your feedback, and we'll chat back with you in the chat. Let's keep the conversation rolling. Let's keep it moving. And as always, we are.
One more thing.
Mhm.
Don't forget to check us out on TikTok. We're going to tell you more about that too. But that's coming. We got 2 more days of getting this right before we go live on TikTok. And that's going to be our new platform. So be on the lookout. We'll keep you informed. So until next time, we are Soul Sisters
speaking out and fixing crowns
in the process. Peace and love.
Peace.
As she said.